Hey, good buddies, welcome into the Good Buddies Anime Review. I am your good buddy, Roger.
And I am your good buddy, Brandon.
And this week,
we found it, Roger.
we found it. Okay.
We found the one we found the one neither of us like.
To be fair, I did go a little bit out of my way to search for a turd.
All right.
However, I didn't imagine that it would be this bad. We are reviewing Backstreet Girls' Gokudolls on Netflix.
And Roger, you love turds.
They can't even make a good poop joke on this show.
It hurts.
It's okay.
First of all,
I can't imagine this review is going to go very long. And if you are a big fan of this show, you might want to click off right now.
Yeah, I mean, and so here's the thing. Let's preface this. We're going to go into our whole breakdown. Here's what this and that is. But let's preface this. First and foremost, if you watch this show and you liked it, that's fine. You probably don't want to listen to the rest of this thing you're about to listen to. Because we're probably going to shit on it a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Also, let's get this out of the way right now. If you want to say that, hey, you didn't give it a fair shake, you know what? I'd totally accept that criticism and I will internalize it. But didn't neither of us have the heart to go more than 3 episodes on this bad boy?
Yeah. Brandon actually made it to 3 episodes before I did.
Yeah, Roger watched that
I made it in one, and I was like, I can't do this.
And I watched 3, and I was like, my rule of 3, man, you always give it 3 before you give it the absolute yes or no. And I could not go past 3.
I was a hairline away from being like, hey, we should just switch it up. We'll do something that's airing right now and just give a little PSA on it. Something good. Something that actually is funny.
Yeah, so spoiler alert, it's shit.
Yeah.
But we're going to... Roger, let's talk about how we break these down. What we're doing here is we're going to review this anime. We're going to break it down a little bit on 5 different things. And we're going to give it a final score. And those final scores are going to be as such. Roger, if you watched a show... and it was just shit. What would you call it?
I'd call it an anime, not boss.
What if it was not good, but it wasn't the worst thing ever?
Anime.
What if it was pretty average? You know, it was okay.
I'd say that's probably an anime.
What if it was? Yeah, it's pretty good actually. Not bad at all.
Animals definitely.
But what if it was so good? What if it was damn near perfect?
It's amazing.
Yep.
And
this one isn't that amazing. Spoiler.
Yeah, so it's all a review on recommendation, and we do have a scale that kind of services to points to give into those.
So
ratings.
out of a possible 10 stars, with Roger last week setting the precedent that we could go negative. Let's just say that. But this is a scale of 10 stars. We're gonna give it 2 stars each.
I'd be a real asshole if I didn't do a negative on this one, right?
Ooh boy. I mean. Anyway, possible 2 stars in 5 different categories. Those categories being Roger, number 1.
The story and setting.
Roger, number 2.
The characters and development.
Roger, number 3.
The art and animation.
Number 4.
The soundtrack.
And finally, that good buddy's wiggle room. Roger, number 5.
The je ne sais quoi.
That je ne sais quoi. That little wiggle room. That good buddy's wiggle room. And Roger, what does that mean?
I don't know what.
I don't know what. But let's get into it. Let's talk about this show.
I don't know what to say about this show.
Let's talk about this show. Boy, oh boy.
Okay. You want to talk about the story and setting, or you want me to?
Let's talk about story and setting.
Because I'm pretty sure we're going to say the same thing.
Story and setting for this one. It is set in. Did they say where it is? Honestly,
I don't think so.
I don't believe they do. It's like a major city in Japan. It centers around these 3 yakuzas.
It's big enough to have a yakuza.
Yeah. Centers around specifically these 3 yakuzas who. Kind of underlings, you know, they're not maybe they don't appear to be super high on the food chain of this specific yakuza group, but they get into a bit of trouble with their boss, and you find out what that trouble is, I think, in episode 2. Yeah, but something horrible happened, and the boss is super pissed. His boss, older guy, he always wears a suit, he's got a mustache, he's a real hard ass, and he says, I'm not evil, I mean, you know. And they're like, please, boss, don't kill us. Oh, don't cut off our fingers. Oh, God, we're so sorry. And he's like, listen, I'm not evil. I'm not going to kill you. But what he does do is he has these 3 gentlemen go to Thailand, specifically go to Thailand, to undergo sexual reassignment surgery to become women because he's watched a bunch of these idol groups, and they're really cool. They get a lot of money. And he wants them to become an idol group, and that's how they're going to service him. Mm-hmm. And if you already have a problem with this, baby, I'm right there with you.
Flags are flying everywhere.
I feel like anyone who's listened to me talk about anything should by now realize I'm gonna never be okay with this.
Yeah, and I'm a fair bit more leathery, and I don't know, like stuff like this doesn't bother me as much, but man, there are major flags here.
So that's the story and setting, basically. It's about these three dudes who become these three ladies. And then but the thing that really bums me out is that it doesn't, like, every joke in here is like so joke, I say with big sarcastic quotes around it, is so juvenile, in that the main conceit of most of it, particularly in that first episode, comes down to these are women, but they're really dudes. So it's okay that their boss knocks them around and shit. Like, and he does, like,
he beats
in one
them
instant,
until they're bleeding.
Actually beat the shit out of them. It's not good. It's just not good.
It's just
and like that whole
good.
That whole like conceit, I have so many problems with it, but
and
hey,
that's
man,
not the, it just demonizes anybody left and right.
It's just a hard time.
If you strip all that away, and you don't look at any of it, and you look at those moments where it's just him,
if you could watch this without being horribly offended, even so,
it's not funny.
It's not funny. It's not good. It's just bad.
I keep saying, man, I have been molded. My family has been built around poop jokes.
Poop jokes are funny.
I laugh at me some poop jokes. We all remember the story of me watching Asabi Asabase with the poop doll episode, and I had to quit watching because I was about to throw up. I was laughing so hard.
Yeah.
This anime can't even do a good poop joke.
It tries to poop
I
joke.
never met a poop joke that I didn't laugh at.
Until now. Okay, that's the story and setting.
Let's get into the characters and development of this show.
You got the names there, bud.
I've got them pulled up.
All right, so tell me about these characters, bud. I'll let you take this one.
Okay, let's see. There's Aili Yamamoto,
formerly
Kentaro Yamamoto. Mary Tachibana, formerly Ryo Tachibana.
Sure.
Chika Sugihara, formerly Kazuhiko Sugihara. And then let's see, we have Lena George. Now there's some of these characters that we didn't get to. I'm looking for the
main
boss's
three is the
name.
one we need. The boss, I think they just call him the boss. I don't even know if he's named. But those main three,
his name is Kiminajaro Inugane.
Yeah. So those main three are three heroines of the show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So once they are these idols, they each have their own little personality. About the only part of the show that I actually thought like that gave me any like feeling at all was there's a bit where they have this producer come in. And the producer as a character isn't like so horrifying. Like he's he's just trying to make them good idols.
And I don't think he knows anything that
he doesn't know anything about anything. No, he doesn't know who they are. He just thinks, oh, these are three girls who need help being idols. Yes. So there's a bit in there where the producer comes in and he's trying to get them to, get to some emotional core so that they can really do something. And the thing he does is like he's telling them, and he when he's talking, he's thinking of a certain thing. So the big one is he's like, isn't there something that someone told you or that you wanted to tell someone that you never could? And he's thinking in his head like, oh, there was like maybe a guy you liked and you wanted to confess to him and like say how much you loved him, but you never got the chance, blah, blah, blah. Because that's like a thing that he feels like a normal girl in this situation might go through, right? Mm-hmm. What they're in fact thinking is when they were in the Yakuza and they had a dude who was like their like general for them. They called him the chief, and like he got locked up, and it was their fuck up that he got locked up, and he's like they're in prison talking to him and shit, and that's about the only part of the show that got any reaction out of me, because the whole like reaction there of like, oh, he thinks they're talking about this, but really they're talking about this, and like the chief guy is like, forgiving him, and he kind of like breaks down their personalities and says, well, this is why you're so good, and those personalities kind of bleed over into these idol personas that they have, and that part was kind of neat. That's about as much as I could give this show being nice to it. Mm-hmm. And like that's the thing is like the three people, the three idols, you got the one who's like the leader, and in the Yakuza was the leader of them as well, kind of like the main dude, just handling shit, being the boss, etc., etc. Then you got the one who's like kind of a serial screw up, a real goofball, Not a lot going on there. Just kind of a dipper. And then the third one, who is Hufflepuff. I don't even remember. Didn't have much of a personality. But like that's the whole. Those are the characters. Those are the characters we get. They are dudes. Then they are ladies, and
sometimes
it's mostly
they're ladies
just
with
up.
Dudes on their face.
We'll get to that in the art and animation, I think, which we may as well move on to.
I do want to say one more thing about the development,
Tell
or
me
the
about
way
it.
the way that the anime goes, is that each singular episode is broken into 5 pieces.
Yeah.
So there are 5 parts. That is a whole lot to pack in a 22-minute episode.
And they also, like, they keep doing them sequentially through episodes. So, like, by episode 3, it's like part 16, and I'm like, fuck you.
Yeah, it's hard to follow. And I mean, I'm already iffy. I'm hit and miss on the animes that do the smaller breaks. You know,
Sure.
different.
Sometimes it works. The
sometimes they work really well.
Be an
a lot
example.
of people love Pop Team Epic.
Yeah, I don't mind that show.
I
It's
didn't
fun.
particularly care for it, but
It's real goofy.
something like Asabi Asabase, which is broke up into 3 episodes per, I did quite like.
Yeah.
Because there's enough there. There's just never enough
Chio
there ever.
School Real did the same thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I want to say about that. It's broken into what I felt like was too many parts.
Yeah, I would get with you there. Next
Art
bit.
and animation.
Art and animation.
Whew, it's not good. It's not
very good.
The-
It is mostly, almost exclusively still images with just the mouths moving.
The closest thing that we can relate it to, something that we reviewed, was Skullface bookseller Honda-san.
And here's the difference there is that Skullface, one, it had very simplistic character designs that were very easy to recognize. They gave him a lot of character, and even then, like, they still had some animations, like Skullface's head rattling
I would
when he was
definitely be
nervous,
able. I would say that there is more movement in Skullface than there is in Gokudolls.
Yes, than Backstreet Girls here.
Also, the best way to put it is there's a right way to do something and there's a wrong way to do something.
This is very much the wrong way.
Skullface is the right way. This is very much the wrong way.
Yeah, I didn't like any
because
of it.
the colors aren't good. It's like it's got like that manga-esque look to it, the comic sort of style, where just the mouths are moving and stuff. But it's just not. It's not horrible to look at. It's not the worst thing you could see. It's not gonna burn your eyes out.
It's just
not
got
good.
no soul. It's got no soul at all, man.
It's so flat.
It really bums me out. And furthermore, like, the character designs and stuff are like, oh, there's like typical cutesy anime girl, but then like also every other shot, like, they're off model. They look so different that, like, it's just weird. And like, well, is that even the same character? They very often have like the straight up fish eyes where like they're just looking in 2 different directions because what in the hell is even happening here? The bits where like they're performing, they're idols. They are meant to be performing on stage, are just still images of them standing there like posing with the microphone in front of their mouths. No movement, no dance, no nothing. There's nothing. And it's just like, I don't, like, it feels like no one even tried. I don't know. This feels bad. Now, the whole thing is based on a manga, so I guess, like, some of that, I guess, like, you were going for the manga look, but also, it was just done so bad.
Yeah, I could see, like, maybe a hardcore fan of this being able to argue against us. And like I said, we only went 3 episodes in, but I felt like that was more than enough to be like, okay, this isn't going to. I don't think it's going to go change or go further in any way as far as the animation or anything like that. And if it does, if any of the good buddies watch it and it does, let us know in the comments. But
yeah, by all means, this might. I mean, maybe you get to episode 7 and it's
maybe you get to
fucking
episode
amazing.
4.
Maybe this one's like the biggest swerve of the year, and I just will never fucking know because I'm not gonna watch the rest of it. But yeah, I don't know. I can't be dealing with that, man. It was not a good time. It was,
not good.
I believe, like, specifically, Roger watched that first episode before I watched any of it, and he texts me and he's like, "Hey man, have you watched this show yet?" And I was like, "Nah, I was gonna later." And he's like, "Man, it's really hard to watch."
Yeah.
And you were not kidding.
It was. Yeah.
Let's move on.
The silence says it all in that brief moment there.
Yeah, no kidding.
Let's talk about the soundtrack.
It's not. I mean, there's like, what soundtrack?
It is a soundtrack, and that is it.
Yeah, I mean,
it's just as flat as the freaking animation, man.
They sing, they perform, they don't really, and the music is like, I guess, like, I feel like it's supposed to be cookie cutter pop shit, but it's not even
I think
good.
that's the argument that you can make. Is
It's not
that
even
it's
decent.
supposed to be like that.
Yeah,
but
like, it's supposed to be bad, but in that case, why would I want to watch something that's bad? And also, like, even the opening, like, was incredibly forgettable. Like, I don't, like, the only thing I remember about the opening is that it was a lot of still images and backgrounds with, like, CG, like they green screen some real ass people dancing in dresses, like, oh, that's them, like, ha ha ha. And it was, just nothing, dude.
And, like,
just nothing.
as far as, like, music and Idol, like, the Idol thing goes, like, we talked about Zombieland Saga. Not all those songs are great, and I imagine there are real idols out there that far perform beyond what Zombieland Saga does.
Yeah, sure.
And Zombieland Saga is so freaking well and above and more enjoyable than anything this has to offer whenever it comes to the singing or the openings or any of the Idol-esque stuff there. Just not a lot to it, very flat.
Yeah.
And that'll take us into that je ne sais quoi, dude. What can you say about this? What is that I don't know what factor?
It's not even
I don't know what possessed us to watch 3 episodes.
I mean, for me, it's like, I do know what. And the thing is, like, the biggest problem for me, like, not even the biggest, but there's so many problems. But, like, for sure, probably the biggest one is just, like, the way that it portrays these characters. The way that it says, like, the constant implication in this is that these people transitioned, but they're still guys. So trans people aren't really whatever gender and shit.
Just the fact that the punishment is to become transgender,
is to switch genders and do this or that. Yeah, it's just really fucked up all over. And I'll just say this: when speaking as someone who has trans friends, who has trans family members, it's super fucked up. Yeah. And like, I'm not gonna jump on my goddamn like Tumblr soapbox here.
Yeah, we're not. That's the big thing. We're not trying to hit the podium or anything.
But like, fuck you, man. It's just not cool.
Yeah,
like nothing about this is cool.
And even if you could work something around this, even if you could somehow make this passable,
it's still just bad.
It's just not good.
It's just bad. Even if you could watch this and somehow forgive like the egregious shit that it does and says about people and trans people and, you know, women and men in general, it's just fucked up.
Even nerds and like
not funny.
You know, like
and ugly as
culture
sin.
And stuff like that. Like, you know, like does everybody have to have the sticky hands and stuff like that?
Holy shit, dude. Yeah.
Not everybody that enjoys this shit is just jacking off in their hand to shake your hand and give you a hug.
Yeah, that was like an actual plot point. Is like, these dudes are jerking off when they're shaking our hands. Like, okay, cool. Sure did watch this show.
Yeah. Well, I went fishing for a turd and I got it.
Yeah, and you love turds, and this is a bad turd.
Dude, I couldn't imagine. Maybe that's what I really want to say is that I did kind of. We only watched the trailer. I did not watch into this at all.
I didn't even know it was in consideration for us to do it.
I wrote it down the moment we saw that trailer.
I don't know why you did that shit.
And I don't know what I thought, dude. I don't know what was going through my mind, but I put it there, watched a little. Netflix, they're not 100% with the stuff they released, but this is like the worst thing that I've seen them release.
I mean, so that's the thing is like, it's not like Netflix went out and said, "Hey, let's make this show." Like,
but it is a Netflix anime, I believe.
Well, I mean, so that's the thing is they licensed it. They bought the rights to it. It's not like they made it. It's not like they went out and found the people who made the manga.
I'm not trying to nail Netflix to the cross. What I was just saying is that
generally
they have a higher form of quality.
Well, what I'm saying is like Netflix goes out and like they've gotten into this habit of just like finding a thing that, you know, looks cool and then saying, "Cool, this is ours now," and calling it a Netflix original, which it's not really. It was already like existed before that and shit, and they just happen to be the ones that licensed it. And boy, oh boy, they really grabbed a pile of shit here on this one.
Yeah. If you want to watch something good on Netflix, watch Devilman Crybaby.
Watch pretty much anything else. I haven't seen, what is it, Kakaguri or whatever it is?
Yeah, you watch Kakaguri of this. Watch High Score Girl.
I haven't even seen fucking...
Watch the Berserk movies that are on there.
Like, some of that shit I've heard is actually not that great, but it's got to be better than this.
Neon Genesis is coming to Netflix.
Oh, baby.
Watch that. Don't watch this.
Watch that redub.
Which I guess will bring us into our scores here.
Oh, fuck.
Brandon, on the story and setting, what did you give it?
Why do I gotta go first?
Okay, I'll go first. I gave it a 0.5.
I gave it a 0.5.
Characters and development, I gave it a 1.
I gave it a 0.5.
I gave it a 1 because there are characters.
They sure do exist.
The art and animation.
No. 0 from your boy.
I gave it a 0.5 because
that's a 0 from your boy.
Soundtrack, I gave it a 0.5.
0.5.
And for that je ne sais quoi,
straight up 0. I'm not gonna go negative. Going straight up 0.
I gave it negative 0.5 because I
Jesus.
am not about to do Bloom Into You like that, and not. If I didn't want to give Bloom Into You that score that was in the middle, that 0.5 score, I am certainly not giving this that 0.5 score.
You're a monster. So what is that?
I'm not going to tell you that this is somewhere in between an anime, maybe not an anime. Okay.
So what are you giving it? What's that make it?
2 points for me.
That's a 1.5.
One and a half. 1.5.
Out of a possible 10.
At least they're both on that block.
Feels bad. That's an anime, maybe not.
Yep, that's an anime, maybe not. The first ever, I fished for it. And
you caught it.
I caught it, dude.
You caught a big stank. I don't. Now listen, I mean, we should also preface, we should end this by saying, look, we don't come here to shit on shit.
Yeah.
But this is just not a good show.
No, it's not a good show at all.
Like, I feel like, again, if anyone out there is into it and you watched all 10 episodes and you say, you know, hey, it actually picks up around this episode, it actually gets better, or maybe like, you know, you actually didn't have a problem with any of it, that's totally fine. Your opinions are your own. These are our opinions, and my opinion is it's a big demon pile of straight up doo-doo garbage. And I never want to look at it again.
Burns and hemorrhoids all the way out,
I'm kind of pissed off I watched it at all under my own account, because now I got to log back into Netflix and I'm going to see something that's going to be like, well, because you watched this.
Yeah.
Like, no, fuck you, Netflix.
To be fair, I asked multiple times, should we switch this? Should we switch this? And we went for it. And I'm glad that we did. We show that we do here at the Good Buddies Universe. We follow through.
We follow through.
As much as we didn't want to. We
said we'd do a thing, and we did the thing, and now the thing is over. And if you liked it, cool. And if you didn't, sorry, man.
Yeah, we're gonna go into something a little older for the next week. We're gonna
there's a lot of stuff that's coming out right now that's new that we want to talk about, but it's not done yet. So we're gonna wait on those. We are gonna look at a couple like series from years past.
Yes, and we had a
good buddy reach out.
I had a good buddy give us a list of stuff. He had been kind of wanting to hear us talk about something older. I actually had some other good buddies mention this one, so that's why I was drawn to it.
Yeah,
I hope I don't butcher this name. Watamote?
I think that's right.
Okay, that's what we're watching. You'll see a little thing flashing above.
As I understand, it's like the full title. It's like a what do you call, like the first part of each word of the full title, or something. So Watamote would make sense then.
Yeah, we both haven't seen it.
I don't think it's Watamote.
Yeah, it's not Watamote. That's how I want to say it, but it's not.
Yeah. But we're gonna watch that next. I've heard good stuff about this one. Looking at it, I'm like, man, I don't know, but we'll find out.
We're excited.
It looks cute.
I'm excited about it. I know she's got like social anxieties and stuff like that, and stuff I can very much relate to.
My good buddy Roger's gonna watch it and be like, it me.
It's me. I'm the Watamote.
Oh no. So that's what we're gonna watch next.
Thank you, good buddies. If we didn't terribly piss you off or anything by shitting all over that one that you may or may not have liked.
Yeah.
If you're still
hopefully
here
you'll join us
please,
again.
Please subscribe to the channel.
Smash that like button.
Yep, hit it up. Really helps us out. We're almost to. We are about 70 away from 1,000 subscribers. So
hey, we're getting there, baby.
If you guys are listening to this at that point, please hit that subscribe button. And I try not to go too far into begging for subscriptions or anything, but it really helps us out.
For sure. And like we say every week, you know, if you're listening to the podcast, none of this is going to matter to you. But if you're watching it on Rapid Kick Media's YouTube, we're about to go in this one, go into the ramble. Please do check out all the links in the doodad, in the ding dong.
Yep.
In the what the fuck's it called?
The links in the description below.
Links in the description below. I'm not the YouTuber here, Roger.
All right,
check
buddies.
them out. We'll have the full links at the end of the ramble, and we'll
see you guys later.
Love ya.